If you're like me and you're looking for a nice pair of dress shoes or business casual shoes that aren't going to break the bank and also aren't going to break your feet, then this video is for you, because I found a pair of shoes that cost me less than $100 and actually look and feel really, really good. Hey guys, I'm Caden. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and a barefoot shoe connoisseur. I love looking for affordable barefoot shoes that are gonna make my feet feel really good, but also not break the bank. When you got a 5-month-old baby, there's a lot of other costs that go into life, and finding ways to make my feet feel really good on a budget is one of my top priorities. And so that's why I'm making this video for you specifically, because I know you're probably looking for some dress shoes, but you don't want to spend the $150 to sometimes $350 that it takes to get some of the really nice pairs. And don't get me wrong, there are some brands out there that I really would like to review and try in the future, but that's one of those things where you just kind of have to save up for a while before you're really ready to invest in something that's that expensive. Until then, though, I'm looking for ways that I can spruce up my wardrobe and give myself other options when it comes to, going to nice events or nice parties, so that my feet don't kill me when I wear some of the shoes that I used to have. My wife and I had a little fundraising event come up over this past weekend, and I needed something that I could wear to look really nice, but that wasn't going to hurt my feet the same way that my other dress shoes had for so long. And so I started searching for some barefoot alternatives, and everything that I found were in that really pricey range. And even a company like VIVO Barefoot, who has, they don't look like dress shoes, but they have the nice materials and they can pass as that. Even theirs are, in the 175 to 210 range. And through my searching, I stumbled across the Saguaro brand. And these have mostly, if you look on their website, like outdoorsy, like hiking type shoes, but they do have a small selection of casual barefoot shoes. And I stumbled across this particular model that is sort of this like mid-rise leather boot look. What stuck out to me about this in particular was that it was black leather, which is what I was looking for the event, and the design shape fits a lot of the tenets that I have for a barefoot shoe. So if you haven't seen any of my videos in the past, I have 3 things that are kind of my go-to markers for a really good barefoot shoe. It needs to be flat, so 0 drop from the back to the front. It needs to be wide, meaning that it has a foot-shaped toe box, and it needs to be flexible, meaning that it can bend and move with your foot the way that your foot was designed to function. I looked at these online from the pictures. They looked like they would fit that bill, so I went ahead and ordered them. One of the big perks to this is right out of the gate, which is probably why you're watching this video, they were cheap. I think at the time of me purchasing them, they were under $70. And so for a quick turnaround for an event that I needed shoes for, I was like, hey, let's give it a shot and just see what happens. So cost perspective, blows a lot of the other ones out of the water. You never know what you're gonna get from a quality perspective when you go a little bit lower, but hey, that's the whole point of doing this channel in the first place. So when considering the styling of these versus, probably the better direct correlation would be some of the pairs of shoes on VIVO Barefoot, just sort of the way these are designed. I know there are probably other brands like Feel Grounds, they probably have some like this, but those are all gonna run you anywhere from $120 up to $210 for a pair of shoes like that. And so for a quick turnaround and on a budget, these seemed like a good option for me. Once they arrived in the mail and I put them on my feet for the first time, I was literally blown away by how they felt. This leather material, I don't even know if this is really full leather. It's probably not with how cheap it is, but it's really soft. On the inside, super comfy. It's got a nice like cushioned insole that feels really good when you put your foot in there, but the materials bend and move with you really easily. And the width perspective, that's one of the main things with a dress shoe that bothers me, is that those normal dress shoes kind of come to a point and it's really uncomfortable. These have such a good toe box design that when I put my foot in, I felt like I had so much room. I feel like I could walk around for hours in these and not feel like my feet were gonna kill me. From a design perspective, definitely as sort of a mid-rise boot, sort of the way they do the stitching and how they lace this up, it kind of fits that chuka pattern in the way that it looks. So it looks really clean, especially when it's on the foot and you're wearing it with some nice pants. But from a sole perspective, these actually remind me a lot of the Balenka shoes that I have. Sort of the way that the heel cup sort of wraps around through the back into the front. Definitely reminds me of the Balenkas, and I'll kind of show you guys a little bit of a side-by-side comparison in the video here. But from a width perspective, I'll kind of show you a top-down of what these look like compared to the Balenkas, which are, to this day, still the widest shoes that I've ever reviewed. The toe box design is pretty close, and it's really important for me to have that straight line through the big toe, rounded out through the smaller toes to provide as much spread as we possibly can when we're wearing the shoes. The event that I mentioned earlier was last night, and we were probably there for around 4 hours, and in that amount of time, I would have definitely wanted to change shoes if I had regular dress shoes on, but with these on, I barely even noticed it. It was so comfortable to be able to just walk around and not have my heels hurt, not have my toes hurt, not have the shoe be super stiff. The mobility in these is incredible for the price, and honestly, the way that they looked too, you could barely even tell that I was wearing something that was maybe some people would consider cheap. The leather material looks really good. After bending a couple of times, you obviously start to notice a little bit of wrinkling and things like that. So I would imagine over a long period of time that might start to show some wear, and that might be where you kind of see the price point coming into the quality and the longevity. But from a short-term perspective, and with me probably only ever wearing these every so often, I imagine these would be a really great option for me for years to come. To my knowledge, there are no reviews on YouTube because I searched on this particular shoe in general. I think the shoe brand might have a couple of reviews, but from the dress line perspective, I haven't really seen very many. So hopefully if you found this video and you're considering these, that this has been relatively useful for you. Honestly, there's really no negatives that I have on the shoe so far. The build is super solid. It's very comfortable. The toe box design is great. The zero drop design is great. If you wanted to take the insole out, you probably could to get a little bit more of that barefoot feel, because the insole is a little plushy, but that's totally fine. You know, I didn't really feel like it added too much thickness to the inside of the shoe. Like my toes had plenty of room to move around. Super flexible. It looked really good with the gray pants that I had on, but it would look great with black pants as well. They did have a low option in this shoe as well, so if you hop on over to the website and you're not in favor of sort of the mid-rise boot look, you can definitely get the low cut option for, you know, just some regular casual wear if you want to do that as well. But if you're in the market for a pair of like leather looking barefoot shoes that won't break the bank for you, but will give you an option to look really good and feel really good at the same time, then I would definitely try these out. Getting these under 70 bucks was an absolute steal for me, and knowing that I can wear these, you know, many times in the future. I don't go to fancy events super often anyway, but to know that I have this option is really, really comforting. And who knows, maybe down the road I'll invest in some of the higher end barefoot dress shoes, but for now that's just not really a priority for me. So if this is something that you think you might want to try, I'll drop a link down in the description. I'll also give you a discount code that'll give you 10% off. So already under 70 bucks, but then getting 10% on top of that maybe covers your taxes or your shipping or something like that. So I'll have a link down in the bottom. I'll throw in sort of that discount code as well, so you can get these even cheaper if you want to try these out. Highly recommend this. It's been actually a really cool addition to my shoe collection. Let me know if there are any questions you have about these that I didn't answer in the video. I know it's kind of a quicker one, not as many details, but truthfully, it's a super simple shoe, and I liked almost everything about putting it on my foot and wearing it the other night. But if there's anything else that you want me to try to review, or if you have any other brands that you have questions on, just let me know in the comments. I'll hop in, give that stuff a sift, and then just sort of search for other things that I can review, just to give you guys as much info as possible. As a physical therapist, it's always important for me to talk to my patients about what their footwear looks like. If I can give them as many options to get outside of the normal stuff that they have so that their shoes can benefit them in the long run, I'm all for it. So that's why I make this channel. That's why I do these videos for you guys. So your feedback is super important. Again, if you're looking to pick up a pair of these, I highly recommend it. Just hit that link down in the description. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.